Otowi Station is always delighted to showcase our local authors and poets, and tonight we're especially pleased to present Mike Katko, who has published his first book of poems, Skies and Other Poems. You all know Mike from Mountain School, from Tony's Pizza. So, please, a nice, warm welcome for Mike.
When I was growing up in Cheyenne, it was a different mindset. It was almost like boys were expected to fight. I mean, they got in fights, and you just separated them after the fight. The teachers, I don't remember anybody getting suspended for fighting, But I grew up in Wyoming, which was, I spent my childhood in Wyoming up to about 6th grade, and then we moved here. And so it was something that we just grew up with. And it was a rough and tumble place, Cheyenne. So anyway, I wrote, and I never was comfortable with it, and I never liked bullies and all that kind of stuff. And I remember how I felt about this one kid that I was pressured to fight, and it's called Denim Jeans, and it's on 22. Denim Jeans. He sat behind him on the bus, behind the Jewish boy no one liked, waiting for the stop where he will fight him. Everyone knows they will fight. Quickly they're off, and as the Jewish boy tries walking away, he's caught and spun around. The first punch lands on his cheek, the next on his ear. The Jewish boy, crouching on the ground, screams up through pouring tears, "I'm not supposed to fight." Breathing heavily, the slugger stops, looks down at his bleeding knuckle, then runs from the scene through a storm of cheers, home to his back porch, where he cries about what he's done. Suddenly he feels a throb of guilt. "Please forgive me, God, I'm sorry. They made me fight him." He sniffles and rubs his bloody knuckle deep into the pocket of his denim jeans. I was writing this poem, and it's an amazing story, and it's a true story. Sweet Willy Presock, 1939, First Ward, McKeesport, Pennsylvania. Down by the tower where the whistle did blow, lived sweet Willy Presock and his mean brother Joe. There by the split of the Yacht and the Mon grew the First Ward and its hard men of steel, where through the soot and the sweat and barely a meal, men grew up tough and were taught not to feel. Well, deaf sweet Willy was different. He liked what he felt. He smiled when dogs wagged their tails in delight, and he sighed when old men kissed old women in the park at last light. But during the day, Willy hammered the steel and he shoveled the coke, and he'd stare at the flames and marvel at the tall black smoke. One day into the ward came the fast Jersey Belle, with girls full of fun and lips sweet as honey. Late in the night they'd screech and they'd howl and make the steel men spend their steel money. Now down the First Ward on a very steep street, fast Jersey Belle and sweet Willy did meet. She knew he'd carried groceries for many a maid, so fast Jersey Belle showed him a way to get paid. On that day, Willy came to love the fast Jersey Belle, and word of that love spread down to the mill, until it fell into the ears of Mean Joe, and straight to Jersey Belle would Mean Joe go. Now it was at the noon whistle Joe gave Belle his money and showed her his bed, when in walked sweet Willy, and his heart felt like lead. Willy ran to the kitchen and he grabbed the big knife, and he let out a sound he'd never made his whole life. Then he climbed the big tower as it let out its loud sound, and he slit his sweet neck, and he fell to the ground. The screams could be heard all over the ward, and at the big pots where the hot steel was poured. One man mumbled where sweet Willy fell, all this over a gal named fast Jersey Belle. Now it was down by the tower where the whistle did blow, lived sweet Willy Presock and his mean brother Joe. And Silent smile. Let me whisper to you my wonderful soft secret. The hidden treasures in my heart soul were discovered at our first slow, forever kiss. Now, my love, the abyss that was my life's steps is an endless, wandering wonder. You are the reason, in my silent moments, I sometimes smile face first toward nothing at all.